Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm Evans. We got Pat and David here as well. So we're going to check in on our challenge and then also just, chat about what's going on in life, what books we've been looking at, different things we've been learning. So let's just jump in, give a quick status. So I'm at day 61, kind of getting to that last 2 weeks, so getting ready to push towards. David, I believe you're on day 55, uh, somewhere right around there. I think you are 6 days behind. And then Pat has, as we've talked about, hit a reset a couple times. So he's still in the challenge with David, but he's on 35 of actually doing the full 75 hard. So, but including all his resets, he's actually been going, longer than me, probably getting close to 70 days or so. Uh, so we want to give a quick check in on the whole group and the competition, David.
Let's see. We not much has changed in the past 2 weeks. I believe when we updated it last time, we had lost a couple more people. We got down to six. If we didn't update that, then that's where we're at. Is we do have six people. We still have one mulligan, and we've got at least two people that have used their mulligan on a couple of different things. One didn't get a workout. One didn't take a selfie. So we've still got six. We got, I think it's one more week. Yes, one more week in this phase, and then it gets hard. It gets into the 75, almost 75 hard.
Almost
One
75
thing,
hard.
almost 75 hard. I will caveat this. So when I set it up, I didn't know all the rules that Andy Frisilla had. I thought I did, and then found a frequently asked question page of his that went into some more rules. So I think Andy, if he's watching this, if he ever watches this, he needs to have a this is all the rules in one place because I found like one set of rules in his book. One set, if you listen to his MF CEO podcast, he talks about it and it has a different set of rules, or not different, but the exact requirements sometimes vary.
Yep.
But where we're gonna not have the full 75 hard is number one with the water. We're going to do the gallon of water, but we do allow flavors as long as it doesn't add sugar. If it's a little drop in or a circle or whatever, electrolytes, you can add that. And his is pure water, no flavor, no electrolytes, no sodium, no nothing, just water. And then the other thing that I found he finally found where he specified what outside meant. And outside for him means no covering. So if you're under a gazebo, if you're in a breezeway, anything that has a covering, it is not considered outside. Whereas in our challenge, as long as you're missing at least three walls, we considered that to be outside. So go to your local school, walk under the little canopy thing if you wanted to do that for an exercise. But he does it. So poor Evans has still got to go outdoors. And Pat, if he's going to try to finish 75 hard, will have to be through
Try.
outdoors.
I'm committed. I'm more committed than
Which,
y'all
which,
are.
what
Oh, really?
you're trying? This is what are you on the third or fourth attempt at this?
I think it's third or fourth, yeah. That's okay. I
So
didn't give up.
Oh,
That's what
there
it's
you go.
about. That's what it's about.
It is. It is. So that's where we're at. We got six people left. Six people seem to be going strong and doing what they need to do. But next, I guess it's a week from tomorrow. If you're looking on the calendar, it'll ramp up, and I'll be shocked if all six make it through that. It's only 12 days, but y'all can attest to the two workouts a day. I've done that sometimes, but every day is tough.
yeah. So right now they're doing one exercise every day, and then 3 days a
Yep,
week have to be outside. Is that right?
correct. That's where we're at.
Okay.
So
So
we
I
get to
haven't really
pick
been
the
hearing many
days.
complaints from the team or from the group, but I'm curious what y'all's thoughts are on, is it going to be the 2 a day workouts or is it going to be the full gallon of water that starts knocking some of these people out?
I think it's gonna be the water.
Water.
I think it's the
Probably both. It may
workouts.
be both.
Workouts.
Yeah.
So the workout we're already, or the water we're already at 3 liters.
That's true.
To
So
get
it's
to
not
the
even
gallon is
full
only
liter.
it's like 28. I think it's 28 ounces. I mean, I could do the math if we needed, but it's around 28 ounces more to go from 3 liters to a gallon. And so I mean, that's more, but it's not significantly more. You're doubling the workouts and they have to be separated. I mean, and for those of us that work, you have two options. You either get up before work, which is tough, or you come right after work and come home or go to the gym and do your workout, and then you wait your hour and do another workout. So you're doing another one at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And
Which if you're
that's
following
what I think.
Andy's, that's another one of the rules that, like you said, I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
I heard at one point it's 1 hour between, but some of
No,
those other
his
guidance says 3 hours. So
yes.
yeah, if you're doing it right after work and you do, 5 to 5:45, then you've got, 8:45 is your next workout.
Yeah, there's definitely like where we started originally. I was only tracking the 1 hour, and I don't know which one of y'all led me astray on that one, but I'm gonna blame Dave Tuck on it. Is I may I may need another reset from the last time I only waited an hour. I've only been doing 3 hours, 4 hours in between the 45-minute workouts for like a month now. So maybe I haven't
It's
even been
Andy's
close
fault.
enough
He
yet.
did not specify. Go listen to the MFCEO podcast where he talks about 75 hard. He never specifies the separation between the two workouts. He just says they need to be two separate workouts. And I don't remember if he uses the word with like significant time or anything like that, but it's two separate workouts. Well, an hour apart is two separate workouts.
Yeah,
And if it's not, then I get to work out for 20 minutes, take an hour break, work out for 15 minutes, take an hour break, and work out for 10 minutes. That's my 45 minutes, right? So if an hour doesn't count as a separate workout, that's one workout, my 45 minutes. And that's not true either. So you got to be consistent one way or the other. He's not, but it's his world. We're just living in it.
yeah. Regardless of that fact, like you talk about, it's super easy to do this on the weekends. Like I have no problem, but during the week, when you're driving into work, you got to put the kids to bed. Sometimes they don't go to bed till 8:30. I'm working out at 9 or 10, and I hate it. The workout. I mean, so you can jump into the ups and downs of this whole thing. I feel like it's kind of smooth sailing now at this point, but that second workout still sucks. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I will not maintain it after this. It's a it's a waste of time. I don't like it. I don't know that it's a waste of time, but it's a waste of time.
Yeah. It's one where getting the two full 45s is one thing where, I would always do, at least like a dog walk twice a day, some kind of exercise, but the full 45 when you're like tired, it's late, walking the dog around the neighborhood for 15 minutes is one thing. 45s, yeah, it's
It's
it's a
not
whole
even
new
that.
thing.
I just don't even know how beneficial it is. Because we're talking about like when I do a workout, if I'm doing, like my dumbbells or something, I only need 20 or 30 minutes. But
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
stopping. I'm not talking to people. I'm not playing around with my phone. I'm not doing anything. I'm driving driving that 100% for 20 minutes, and I don't need more than that. I can
What
target a
was your
muscle
first
group.
workout for the day?
Mine today was just a
Yeah.
walk. Today was just a walk.
No, I mean, so the day you do your dumbbells is your second workout. What would be your first workout? A run?
But typically, yeah, I would try to get the outdoor one done in the mornings.
All right.
So
And
a
so then
walk
you
or a
go do
run.
your dumbbells. You do those for 20, 25 minutes and you're done. And that's where you're saying it's a waste.
I think so, yeah.
But well, why not spend the next 20 minutes doing some good stretching?
Well, that's
Uh,
what I've had to do, but I don't know that it's beneficial to do that for 20 minutes every day. Sometimes when you gotta have we've talked about this before, you gotta have a rest day from even muscle groups. And if I've got a rest day from running and a muscle group on the same day, what am I stretching twice a day for 45 minutes? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I was reading Goggins' book, and he talks about how that's really saved him. He was struggling because of, I know he's ridiculous in what he does, but he was struggling because he wasn't stretching. He ended up in the hospital, and uh, basically the doctors couldn't figure out what was really wrong with him. And his solution was he started stretching, and that fixed whatever was going on. And so he stretches for, and I don't know what, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day.
Yeah,
Um,
don't so that's it,
and
right? That's beneficial, I think. Maybe that 10 minutes. I don't know that it's more than that though. And I think that's where I'm
so
struggling. I can get in here and I can do now I'm trying to do two muscle groups a day if I got to work something in. But I just don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that I'm actually building muscle as so much as just burning calories at that point.
That's fair.
Especially now
That kind of
because
goes into one of the next things we can talk about. David has the book. Me and him have both read it. I don't know if you got a chance to, Pat, or if you're going
I
to.
need to. I
Uh,
need to.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep putting it on
But
y'all that I'm not educated.
but one of the sections he goes through like the different sections of days to say uh, kind of like where your headspace would be at for those different days. And so I know David and I, we're both in that 50 to 63 range. Pat, depending on how you look at it, he's at least there, maybe further into the next one. And so that one's he has it titled the earned experience and the excitement lull phase. And so basically the point of that title is that David and I started talking about this last November, I think. I think I went into the office after I had just heard a podcast about it. And then there he is talking to somebody in the office about 75 hard. So we start chatting about it. Me and him talked about it from November. We both were researching it. He was, making his new thing up. Uh, but that really means nothing compared to all of us being like over 7 weeks in now of actually doing it and kind of being in the fight. And so, uh, one thing on that is you hear that 21 days makes a habit. I don't know if y'all have heard that same saying. Look that up, and most people say the research actually shows more like 66 days. So either way, we should be kind of right into that where we're making some habits, forming some habits here. And I know Pat just said no way he's going to keep the second workout habit. But I was just interested in y'all's thoughts on what of this do you think you're actually going to keep and what you're going to change.
So
David, you want to start us off?
yeah.
Sure. I've thought about this, and it's easy to say it now. It's like anything else. Hey, I'm gonna keep it all, but that's unrealistic to do all of it. Um, I'd like to think I'll keep the water up to some extent. I don't know that it'll be the 3 liters or a gallon. I'm absolutely done with having to measure my water every day. I'm just over that, and that's what you mean. It's what you have to do. But yeah, I got two 1.25 liter water bottles, and I fill up, or I have a line that marks the liter, and fill them up, and then drink some, and then get one of them filled back up again, and uh, I'm just tired of that. But I do plan to continue drinking water. That has become a habit. And I'll digress a little bit. Do y'all find that y'all are like, even after you drink your gallon, you're still thirsty? Because I've
Yes,
found
100%.
that to be the case. Weird. The first week or two, I was dying trying to get my 2 liters in. And now I'm drinking 3 liters plus. And even then, I'm still a little bit thirsty.
It's
So
weird. Like my mouth is dry. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like did I eat something salty or something? But yeah, definitely thirstier.
So the workout I do, I think, I mean, I plan to continue the one workout a day. I haven't gotten to the 2 a days. I don't know that I would do those. Part of it is a time constraint, but that's an excuse more than being the truth. It's really just a want to, because I would have to get up before work and work out and then do one in the evening. The diet, that's one I really want to keep. I'm not sure my family wants me to keep it because when we go out and they're like, well, can you do this or can you do that? Uh, it is difficult. I'm finding it's very difficult to go out to eat and follow my diet. And my diet is not strict. Like I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian. It's not a calorie diet, and it's still very difficult to follow because the options are just limited. It's almost you have to have a salad everywhere. I mean, yes, everybody has like either a chicken or steak salad, but Mexican restaurant. We've all talked about that and how much we love the Mexican restaurants. The only thing I found, and maybe somebody can help me out, because I can't have bread other than wheat, and Mexican restaurants don't have wheat bread. So you can't have anything with taco shells or fajitas or the chips. Uh, and as Pat can attest to, the chips sitting on the table sucks to sit there and look at the chips. But fajitas is the only thing I can come up with that I can eat
Yep.
because everything else is in a shell of some sort or comes with a shell or comes with a chip. And fajitas, I mean, I guess I could get a taco without the taco shell, but that doesn't really get you filled up, I don't think.
Switch to gluten
Um,
free.
and so I went to Cricket's Friday night, my favorite restaurant. I love the wings. Wings are awesome. That's my little input advertisement for them, and I could not eat it. My daughter wanted to go, so she's not part of this competition. So we went, and I had grilled chicken salad, and it was good. It filled me up, so I can't complain about that. But that was like the only thing I could find was grilled chicken salad, steak salad, and that was about it. Everything else came with fries, or I could get the burger, but it came with fries.
Yep.
Get the grilled chicken sandwich, but it came with that was their thing. It came with, and I could not have that, but now you're paying like $12 and $13 for a burger, and it's not that great. But I do want to stick to the diet. I think it's really helped me. It's made. I think I feel better because of it. Um, I started practicing for this, and all of November and all of December, I did a 45-minute workout every day. I did not lose a single pound. I didn't gain any, but I did. I was the same weight that whole 2 months. And then as soon as I switched to my diet, all of a sudden I started losing weight. Not tons, but definitely losing weight. So that's where I'm at. Stick
But
to the
read,
diet,
you
stick
think
to
you're
the
gonna
workout.
still read some, or is that something you did before?
It's not. I did not do it before. Um, I like to. I've enjoyed the books. I'm currently on Eat and Run by Scott Jurek, and it's all about vegetarian. Is that right, Pat? You read it.
He's a vegan.
He's vegan. Yeah.
Is it vegan?
He doesn't
Okay.
start out like in the
Um,
book. He doesn't start out as a vegan, right? He talks about his
right.
transition
Yep.
to veganism. Is veganism a word?
Um, yeah. So, but it's an interesting book. A lot to gain from it, and there's a couple of recipes I saw in there that looked interesting to have as a side.
His chili looks good. Probably try
The
that one.
chili really did look. It really looked good. I saw that. That would be great. Side of chili with like something good. But yeah, maybe a cheeseburger and some of his other vegan
Dip your
food. I know it defeats
cheeseburger
the
in the
purpose,
chili.
but
Oh gosh.
it defeats the purpose. But no, some of his did look good, and he swears by it. Says that's what makes him a faster runner, can run further and digest better.
So segue off of that, like, and we'll get back to your question in a second, Evans. I've been incorporating in my diet some of his tricks of like anti-inflammatory things, because
Mm.
he's this big, no ibuprofen. They call it vitamin I in the book. He and Dusty talk about it, and that's that ibuprofen. And he's actually the reason why I stopped taking ibuprofen, because I'll just go run, knees hurting, leg, hips hurting, something, foot's hurting. I'm just gonna pop a couple more ibuprofen, and I don't just do ibuprofen. I do the dual action, so it's the like I think it's Tylenol and ibuprofen. Um, and at the point that I was in that book, he starts talking about like, hey, I know people whose like liver has burned out or something, whatever gave out in the book. And I was like, man, I probably need to stop doing that. So I've switched more to. He mentions a couple of things in the book that he does to help reduce inflammation, and I've definitely started incorporating more blueberries and grapes and stuff like that to try and help counteract some of that. And so far, I think it is working for me. Um, Caveat: I do think I need to do something more intense to like do muscle relaxation during my stretches, but I don't know how to incorporate that in, because I don't think just sitting there with a massage gun counts or should count as like the 45-minute workout
Yeah.
on my legs. So that's something I've been pushing off, just kind of because of the time wise. But I do love his diet in there, and he does swear by it. So to your question, Evans, about what will keep going for my challenge, um, maybe only diet. I don't know. Um, I know I need to give up the sugar. I know that I've been pretty happy with it. I can tell a difference. Um, but I don't. If I read, I may incorporate ebooks and
Yeah.
Kindle. Was reading these physical books. Yeah, it's good at
Well,
night.
actually, his book says Kindle book is fine. It's
Oh,
just
okay, okay.
I think me and David either read it wrong or saw something that made us think it had
So I
to be
just can't
physical.
trust y'all on anything in this.
No, no. In his MFCEO podcast, he says it has to be a physical book. He said that's what I mean. He has adjusted his rules, and not that it's wrong. I mean, shoot, when I came up with this, I wrote all these rules to our modified, and then talked to some people, and we adjusted even that because it either didn't fit, didn't make sense, something like or whatever it was. Wasn't strict enough, so we adjusted. So he's adjusted it, but yeah, that's not on us. That's on him.
Yeah.
Call up Andy Frisella and tell him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll take my phone call.
Explain to him we're doing this
Yeah,
contest and you had to do it wrong.
I think it's great, the physical book. So what I would probably keep of it is maybe half the amount of pages. I don't know if it's ADD, ADHD, whatever I have, just being dumb. I cannot sit and focus on just any book. Like Scott Jurk's book, yeah, I'd crush 30, 40 pages in one setting and not want to put it down. But these other books that I like, right? Like I'm on Celebration of Discipline right now, and it's a Christian back book. It's like it's got a C.S. Lewis type feel to it from the author. I like it, and I really, really, really like it, and it's deep. But I don't like reading 10 pages of it, and it's to the point to where like I gotta stand up. Like I'm not going and walking like I was before reading, trying to knock out two activities at once. But I gotta stand up because that sucker will put me to sleep. And I don't know how much I'm actually ingesting of it past the first 3 or 4 pages, 3 to 5 pages of it.
That's
So
true.
so it's got to be the right book. But I can't just go search for every book that's just gonna like catch my attention like that. There's got to be other stuff that I
Right.
read that's got to put some good into me, right? And so I want to keep it, just not at the same amount. And that's just like the workout. I'm gonna do more than an hour and a half of a workout every day. I don't want to break it up into two different sections though. That's just, it doesn't make sense to me. For me, right? Like I get where what he's trying to do is to break that mindset of just sitting on the couch, and then if you're in the middle of the day and you've already done one, it's a lot harder to get up and do that second one. And I do think there are certain people that need that broken. And there's been times in my life where I needed that broken. And I needed to be able to force myself to stop watching, another episode on Netflix or something. Like, hey, get your butt up. It's been ten episodes. You were too lazy to get up and grab the remote to hit next episode. You just wanted the autoplay to start. So get up and move is really the thing I want to hold on to, and I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna do that in the mornings, and I'm gonna keep a rigorous running schedule where I have my off days where I don't have to be outside, because I don't want to just go do something outside. If and so shifting gears a little bit, I'm where we talked last week, where I was worried about actually getting this like good amount of miles in on that 45-minute workout walk. I don't care about it anymore. I'm going and walking with my family. I'm taking my kids, and they're going to drive their little scooters that are not even moving 1 mile an hour, and I'm going to leisurely walk with them. We're going to stop and we're going to smell the flowers. We're going to pick, my daughters love to pick up sticks. I can be pushing them on a bike. Every 10 seconds, I got to stop and pick up a different type of stick. And where last week, 2 weeks ago when we were talking, I was like, I got to get the miles in. I got to get the miles in because this is a second workout. I don't think it's about that for me. But what is good is getting with my family. Hey, we're going to sit down and we're going to eat supper together. And then we're
Yep.
going to get up and walk. And that's something I'm trying to push my family for. It's like, hey, y'all ready? You want to go for a walk? Now it sucks because it's still cold outside, right? Like it was 30 degrees yesterday. Um, they don't want to do that, and I don't blame them, and I don't want to force them to do that. If you want to go walk with me, you can. If you walk with me, I'm gonna walk at your pace. I'm gonna push a stroller. I'm gonna stop when you stand up in the stroller, tell you to sit down. I'm not gonna worry about like pushing you down so I can get my miles in and you don't fall out of the stroller or you're hanging by your leg. I'm just gonna enjoy that time, and that has been great. That shift this week to these last 2 weeks, I think, where I'm not just pushing for miles. I'm not just pushing to get something done. I'll spend that 45 minutes out there, but it's gonna be with my family too. So that has been great. Um, the water thing, no way. Not keeping
Really?
that. I've been on these ups and downs. Well, so I could do the water thing if I had some flavor.
Yeah.
I'll drink my liquid IVs and my greens and other stuff, but so the reason why I didn't do the greens is because it has stevia in it, and that was just kind
Okay.
of my ignorance before. But I have such a sweet tooth that the smallest things will trigger just the urge to just go and consume all of the sugar in the house. And to the point where my wife was she made homemade banana bread, and she's like, I made whole wheat, I mean all of it. She's like, I did all of this stuff, and I cut the sugar and all, and she's like, it'd be great. And I was like, I want to eat it, I really, really do, but I'm afraid if I start eating that, I'm not gonna stop, and I'm gonna eat that whole pound cake, right? And so I I think that that'll be something I keep is the modified diet where it's certainly the mindset of I run, it doesn't mean I need to eat as many calories as I can. I don't need to out eat my stomach telling me I'm full, which I do know is something I do, right? Like if I can get all of this in before my stomach triggers that I'm going to feel bad, it's fine. So I'll keep that. Um, the selfie, no, no way.
Yeah,
That's
definitely not
pointless.
selfie.
Yeah,
And
I don't know.
and so that's probably another thing is like some of this stuff is just I don't see the point, right? Like for me, I guess I mean, maybe he's catering to certain people and certain
Yeah.
mindsets, but I don't have this. I don't care about a selfie. I don't care about that much water. I'm gonna drink when I'm thirsty. I don't have the sweet tea addiction anymore. I don't have the Coke Mountain Dew addiction anymore, which I'd be interested to see if you keep that, David Tuck, if you're gonna
Yeah.
keep cutting that one out.
I got to. Yeah, I need to quit. But here's the problem, though: is with some of what you said and doing this for some people is this slippery slope. And I'm one of those people where you're talking about like the 45-minute workout. You're going to walk with your family and just keep leisurely, casual thing, which is great. And I think it should be done. It's getting the family out. But the next thing you know, that's your workout every day is the casual walk with your family, and that's not a real workout. And then the kind of sort of following the diet. What happens is, you know what? I'm gonna have that banana bread or the Mountain Dew or whatever it is just today because my wife made it on Friday, so I'm gonna have it. It's a weekend, so let's do that. And then Saturday, it's busy with the kids, so man, we just don't have time. So we'll go ahead and have a fast food meal. And then Sunday, you're back to your diet. That's great. But then Monday, that's the start of the week. You might as well have a Mountain Dew to get the week started off. You had a long weekend, and Tuesday sports, and Wednesday you got church, and we just don't have time. And so before you know it, every day of the week is a cheat day. Every day of the week is not working out. And that's one of the worries I have is I've got to find something that I can do and stick to.
No,
Um,
I agree.
and that's what I did my diet. Now, I will say that you're gonna the thought that I'm going to be able to do that diet and a workout and drink this water every day for the next however many years, 40 years I live, that put me at 88. That's unreasonable, right? But it needs to be what the people that like you failed on the 70 hard and you jump back on the next day and tried to get back in that, and that's probably where I need to be. But that needs to be the exception is the once in a while, not just where hey, I'm eating it. My daughter wanted to eat at crickets, so I'm going to crickets and I'll eat wings because um, I'll use last weekend, and maybe we digress on this a little bit. So last weekend, I married my daughter off. So I had family that came in from out of town. Yeah, one more off the payroll. Um, Family came in from out of town. One of the challenges was the water. So I woke up Friday morning. We had a rehearsal dinner Friday evening. I woke up Friday morning and just went through my water quick so that I could be done by about noon. So I had time to get all that out so that I'm not trying to like during the rehearsal dinner and all that, uh, have to stop to go to the bathroom. I did the same thing the next day for the wedding because the last thing I wanted to do was, does anybody here have any objection? Well, I don't object to them getting married, but I got to pee, so hold on a minute. Just that, I don't think my daughter would be appreciative of that at her wedding. So it was, hurry up and drink it. Uh, but that's what you have to do to get through this challenge, right? Um, and so those were some challenges. I could have easily said for our rehearsal dinner we had not. I didn't say this. What for our rehearsal dinner we had pizza. It was fit in their rehearsal dinner budget, so that's what we had. I had nothing because pizza's off my list. It was very much a struggle to sit there with everybody eating pizza while I sat there and drank a water, or I think I actually drank sweet tea to make up for it because I'd finished my water for the day. But I could have easily eaten pizza that day. The next morning, I got up, made breakfast with my out of town family, and we had to find somewhere. They're originally like, let's go to Hardee's. Man, those Hardee's, they got some biscuits. The monster biscuit or something. It's like bacon, sausage, ham, cheese, egg. It's delicious. Don't even look
Every
at it like
animal
it.
on there. Every animal is on
Oh
that
my
biscuit.
gosh, yes, it's delicious. If you get off your vegetarian self, you'd find out it is delicious. Um, but it's probably what 1,000 calories for that biscuit. I mean, it's probably good 600-700 calories. So I could have had that, and then picked out at the wedding, and then could have easily said, "Oh, it's what a great day. Let's go out for dessert." Or I could have eaten cake. I didn't get to eat the wedding cake, which is good because I could have easily eaten 2 or 3 pieces of that. Wake up Sunday, go out to breakfast with the family again. Nobody fault me for any of that, right? I mean, that's not unusual in life. The problem is now that's 3 days of overeating, unhealthy eating, or whatever. Probably no working out if I wasn't on a challenge. Didn't drink much water because we're on the go. And that leads into Monday. And for my life, this past week, my kid plays softball, and we finally had some good weather. So she played softball Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's easy to lead into. We were busy with work, then softball. Let's just grab something easy from Hardee's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, wherever. And so now in the past like 9 days, I could have easily eaten out 8 of them and nobody would have faulted us. And now you're back into those bad habits. So there's got to be some sort of middle ground,
I,
but I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly how to do it because I'm an all or nothing person.
I'm right
I
there with
just
you.
I don't know any other way.
We talked a little bit about in the beginning where like what would stick on like restaurants, and I think I was hitting on I was just gonna eat at home forever. A, I'm bored. Man, am I bored. I want to go out and hang out with people and actually enjoy a meal with them and not just sit at the table and watch them eat, right? Because that's what I'm doing. And then the other thing is my house is a wreck. The amount of dishes that we have to
Yes.
do cooking in I'm
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to figure out how to optimize doing like cooking with one pan and I got four different things I gotta cook, right? Um,
That's gonna hire a maid.
yeah, I know. It's why'd you do that? Because 75 hard
You
and you
need
pushed
Alice
out.
in your house.
Yeah, but that also adds to the amount of time, less time I have in
Yep.
my day to do something because I'm not eating out to adhere to this diet and working out. My dishes are piling up, and the floors aren't getting swept, and
Yeah,
it's a
hold
lot.
on, hold on. I'm gonna call you on that as an excuse because you said time, and this is why I'm gonna call you. If I'm sitting here in my house right now and I said, hey, honey, let's go out to eat. It is at minimum an hour and a half before I'm back. At minimum. It's if I let her pick, it's going to take 30 minutes for her to pick. That's number one thing.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to pick somewhere else because she'll change her mind on the way there.
We're
So you're
walking in the
talking, but
door.
I know it's hey, there's two people in line. Let's go somewhere else. No, it's even at a minimum, it's going to be 20 to 30 minutes by the time we get her jacket on, get in the car, and figure out where we want to go and get there. It's going to be another 30 minutes unless if you're doing Taco Bell, it's going
That's
to be
what I'm
less. But that's
saying.
awful. That's awful for us. So if it's to a restaurant, it's another 30 minutes. Even if it depending on where Taco Bell, which one it is, it could be 30 minutes to get your order at Taco Bell. But so you're another 30 minutes in and another 30 minutes back. It's an hour and a half. I don't fully believe that you can't cook, eat, and clean up in an hour and a half. And so I get the ease. I'm not
Man,
arguing
you
that,
haven't cooked with a
but
2-year-old on your hip, have you? Because I can't
no,
do
no,
that.
I don't. But so now, if you're taking the 2-year-old to the restaurant, add another 20 or 30 minutes just from getting them in and out of the car and all that stuff. But um,
You're slow.
I don't know that that's faster. Like you say eating out, and you said enjoy the meal and with somebody and talking. Um, I don't know. Maybe y'all are quicker at this than me.
Man, I've done this for years. So I mean, I had to break some of these bad habits a long, long time ago. I think we talked about it before. I was a pretty big kid in high school, and I had the shout out to my friend Thomas, who's been a friend since I was 16. He's actually the one who got me to stop drinking Mountain Dews and Cokes. High fructose corn syrup, right? That was what we preached. I don't want that
Yep.
death. And making that shift, keeping my diet exactly the same way it was. We were working at McDonald's, eating McDonald's, going to Taco Bell every day, sometimes 3 times a day. Um, just cutting out the sodas, I was dropping weight. So that was something I knew that I had to stick to. And you talk about the slippery slope. I'm an all or nothing type person when it comes to Mountain Dew as well. If I have one, I have 12, and I'm gonna drink that as much as I want. And I have been on that when Pitch Blacks came out, Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Never had one before. My wife will tell you the story. I didn't eat for an entire week when those things came out because all I was doing was drinking Mountain Dews. I have an
Live
addictive
wire.
Yeah, I have an addictive personality. I know
Oh
what
gosh.
that's like. I like so I 100% agree with you on that slippery slope. Some things you cannot give on. Um, but the going back to the time thing, I really like I've been doing this for a minute. It has not been this big of a time crunch since I started 75 hard with cooking and not eating out. It's definitely more of a crunch.
Think so. Try it.
I mean, I haven't sat
Try
down
it
and
this week.
written it. I
Hold on.
haven't
Try it.
thought
I
about
want
it.
you to do it this week. This week, and you can report
But
back
I'd
at
eat at
our
your
net.
house. You're gonna cook for
What?
me.
There you go. You come on to our
I'll
house.
bring the
It's weird
tofu.
times.
I'll bring the tofu.
Um, you'll have to because we don't have any. But mark the time. Like actually write down the time when you start cooking. Cook, eat, clean up, and then mark the time. Now, the one caveat to that I want to put on that requirement is once you start cooking, you don't stop cooking to go do, clean house, go for a walk, take the kids outside. See it because yes, if you start doing that, it can take forever. And you sit down and you eat. Don't rush through it. Eat like you normally eat, and then go clean up. Have your wife help because if you're driving to the restaurant and from the restaurant, she's going to be there, and that's what you're saying. So have your wife help either with the cooking or the cleaning up or whatever, and it may be she's helping by watching the 2-year old. Time it and come back and say how long it takes to do each of those, and then I challenge you to go out to eat and time that. See what time, and I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit it. But write down the time and don't tell your wife in advance so that she can't pre-pick the restaurant. Write down the time and say, hey, honey, let's go out to eat. Where do you want to go? and y'all figure it out, and you go, and then you come back, and then you write down the time and see how long that took. And let's see how big the difference is. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I may be completely off base on this, but I, I just know the number of times when I cook, my wife does kind of take care of everything else, and everybody leaves me alone to cook. I don't think it's an hour and a half. I just don't think it's that long. I mean, most meals say 10-minute prep, 20-minute cook, 15-minute prep, 25-minute cook. I mean, that any longer than that, it's the exception. I mean, I get slow roast take 4, 6, 8 hours, but most of the meals are 10-minute, 15-minute prep, 20 minutes to cook.
Yeah, I don't
That gives
disagree with
you
you. I mean, I
well,
think it's right.
if it's 30, 40 minutes to cook it and from start to finish, and I'm saying an hour and a half, you still have another 50 minutes to eat it. Maybe your family eats slower than mine, man. I've seen my family sit down and 5 minutes later be done.
Well, I do have to. We feed the spoon feed them, so
it's so
or catching
what do you
one
do?
or running
I
around.
was gonna say, do you make like you leave the food in the kitchen and they have to go to the kitchen, get a spoonful, come back, sit at the table and eat?
Dude, it's
That's the way
chaos in
you
my
eat
house.
slowly.
I'm probably a horrible
Um,
parent. My wife and I probably need some structure. Can you come teach us? Just come take care of my kids and show
Uh,
me how you raise them, because
but
they're running around.
that's just leave. There's the easier time. Just let them run and do what they want, and then you don't have to watch them. But time it a couple of times and let me know if I'm wrong,
I mean,
which I
I'll
could
I'll
be.
let you know when you're wrong all the time.
mhm.
So
All right, I got a
I just thought we
segue.
do this.
I
Go
got a
ahead.
segue off of this one, but I want to hear what Evans had to say about what he's going to keep and what he's not going to keep.
I will be. I think I'm going to try to keep the water because I was drinking lots of sodas. Uh, I I prefer it also with like Element or something like that. So I think I'm going to try to keep with like when I go into work, I usually bring 2 half-gallon jugs anyways. Even before that, I would bring that and put flavor in them, but also sodas. So I'll probably just now bring 2 half-gallons of water, maybe do flavoring in one, and then just try to like keep using the plain water like I've been doing because I've got used to that now. Uh, the books, I think I'm gonna try to, it may not be, 10 pages every day, but as I've been reading now, I guess because people know I'm reading, I've had I probably have 10 books that people have given me now. Like my mom or sister or people at work, they're like starting to give me suggestions or just like literally handing me multiple books at a time. But some of them are like kind of historical fiction, so that doesn't fit into the exact criteria. So there's some that maybe not always stick to uh, just nonfiction books, and then I'll probably be I'll probably keep some of the workouts that I'm doing, but I'll probably go back to where, I usually used to do like basically one in the morning, and then I would do a shorter walk the dog in the afternoon or something. Uh, so, but I'll probably be doing more than I used to do. Uh, and then the diet. There's a lot of little tricks and things I've changed that I'll probably keep. David had talked about in previous ones those little yogurts with like peach in the bottom or something. They're 80 calories, like 14 grams of protein, really good macros. I've been eating those for dessert every night instead of like a bowl of ice cream or something terrible. Uh, and those, like I found, is like they're delicious. So uh, probably some of that kind of thing. I haven't fully decided on sodas if I'm gonna completely give those up or not. I feel like I should, but there's certain restaurants where it just feels right to have like a Coke with it or something.
I
But
mean that's like the slippery. I mean for me that's the slippeриest slope. That
I think
is
I think that will be for me too.
you
Yeah.
have one,
I'm a
you have
soapaholic.
15.
I guarantee you.
Uh,
I'm in SA.
Yeah.
Sodaholics or Sodaholics Anonymous. My name's David Tuck, and I'm a sodaaholic because there's no drink. I mean, I keep telling you, and y'all kind of chuckle like I'm making it up. But what I tell you about like why I can drink one on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through, I've done that. Those are the
yep.
excuses. That's why I can rattle them off so quick. It's we're on the way to softball practice. Didn't have time, and I'm tired. Let me get some caffeine.
Yep.
What have you? I want to know what because y'all are talking about how all you have all this stuff we're having to do in the time that it takes. So you're doing your two workouts. You're apparently it takes Pat forever to cook and eat at home. So what have y'all had to what have y'all given up? Where is that time you had to save some time from somewhere else to spend it on this challenge?
I, I
Where's
don't
the
think
time coming from?
so. This
I
kind
know
of
where mine is.
it's a tangent, right? So this is going to be a tangent off of what you're asking. But this is what I wanted to tangent on just a second ago was I am infinitely more efficient, but I don't know if it's good in like a good way, and I'll get to that in just a second. If I've got 5 minutes to do something, I'm working on something. I'm not sitting down looking at my phone. And I have yet to look at the screen time. I want to look at the decrease in time, but I know I'm not reading the news. I know I'm not on Reddit. I'm not like I was before.
You're not
And
on r/Fed News any?
well, not as much. I gotta, they kicked me off. No, I'm just playing. I've never done social media, right? I've never had the Facebook, Insta, Twitter problems. But here's an example of so right now I ripped out my closet and I ripped out my closet shelves before the 75 hard. It was at the end of November time frame, and I had 3 weeks off of work after at the beginning of December. And my goal for that 3 weeks was build my closet shelves. I was gonna build. I had a plan. I had, I was ready to go. I knew what I had to buy, and it wasn't much. I have all the tools. Um, and in that 3 week period, I did zero things on that closet. Absolutely zero. The beginning of January, once we got through every disease that has spread through Huntsville has come through our house, once we've like got back up on our feet, every 5 minutes I have to do something, I'm working on something else. It's my closet. It's X. It's cleaning something. It's I'm gonna go throw something out of the truck. I was getting ready for church on Sunday, and it was an off day from running, so I just did my 45-minute workout, walk outside. Came home, got a shower, and had 15 minutes before we had to leave for church. Kids were already ready. My wife had gotten the kids ready. 15 minutes. I'm outside in my Sunday best, right, with a saw cutting shelves for my closet because I had 15 minutes. And every time I have 10 to 15 minutes to do something, I'm working on something else. So that I will say is this has taught me that I can't be on my phone as much as I was on my phone. And the other thing is that it's teaching me is that in the mornings, that time is precious with my kids too. I got a 5-year old and I got a 1-year old. She's about to be 2. When they ask me, "Daddy, you want to play a game?" Before it was like, "You got 15 minutes. You got to get ready for school. Let's go." Like you're putting your socks and your shoes on. We're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready to go. Now I'm not gonna say it's made us procrastinate a little bit, but I understand the value of that time. Is like, yeah, let's sit down and play a card game. You want to play goldfish? Let's play goldfish. I'm doing that now, and so that I don't think I would have done that, and I haven't done that previously until this. So it's been great. Um, but where am I getting that time from? To answer your question, I think is put down the dang phone. Like maybe I am a boomer right now, but you don't need it. I don't need it. Give me a flip phone back at this point because I'm wasting time.
Evans,
Yep,
where's your time
exactly,
savings?
exactly the same. Before we might beyond just the phone, we might have like on the TV, like watching a game or something at night, but we literally never have that on anymore. It's once we get home, we're doing the dinner, you're getting all the kids' homework done, spending time with them. It's a lot less phone time, uh, less TV time, things like that that just weren't important. Like none of those. It wasn't like I was doing anything useful on my phone. But I kind of same thing as Pat. Like even beyond that, like I feel like I've organized a lot of stuff a lot better in the past 61 days. Where when I do have some free time, it's not just uh, even if it's not doing one of these things, it's still other things that I feel like now actually, I know what that 15 minutes can do, and I feel like my wife may say differently, but I feel like I've been utilizing time better.
Yeah, I don't know that my wife
It's
would agree either.
for me, I can tell you it's uh, number one, the TV, which it was funny because when you think about this was when Pat said 10 episodes and doesn't want to get up to turn the next episode on. I realized this week it took me 3 nights to watch one episode of CSI this week because I was so busy. I was watching it while I ate um, dinner. And after 10 or 15 minutes, I was done and I needed to either do a workout or read my book or whatever. So I turned it off. I did that stuff. Then it was time for bed. And it took me like I said, 3 separate nights to watch one episode. And in the past, it was not unusual for me to watch two, maybe 3 episodes in a night of a TV show because they're only like 35, 40 minutes with no commercials. And so, hour and a half to 2 hours, no big deal.
Hmm.
Um, the thing is that the stuff that we just mentioned that we've given up is not stuff it doesn't move the needle in our lives. It doesn't make us better. It doesn't make our lives better. It doesn't make us better people. It doesn't improve us. It doesn't help with work. None of that stuff. And I would say, especially social media, is probably the opposite. It's negative feelings. You're either reading about something that somebody has that you don't have, and you have those feelings of, man, why can't I get that? Or you're reading about something bad that happened to somebody and you're feeling bad about that. Or somebody saying that something that's completely untrue. I know that would never happen in politics, right? And you read about that and you're just getting ticked off and mad because they're spreading lies, or at least you perceive them as lies. So everything I said was like you feel bad, you get mad, or you're just annoyed. Well, those aren't good feelings. None of those are productive. So social media is probably not a great place to be anyway. And so you're taking that away. Um, TV, I will not say is great, not necessarily bad, but definitely not. It doesn't help. I've never watched a CSI or whatever Mash. If you want to go old school Mash, maybe Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith, you might get some good feeling good from Andy Griffith, but nothing recent. I loved Friends. I never walked away from TV going, man, I'm such a better person now that I watched that Friends episode. It doesn't happen. So the stuff I think we've removed from our lives is good, and I will say that the one challenge we need to have is that, like Patty, when you give up that second 45-minute workout, don't replace it by going to social media. Replace it with something beneficial. And if these things are habits, so the one workout a day is a habit, then maybe make a habit that you spend 20 minutes learning something else, whether it's a skill or
Yeah, so
language or whatever.
that's what I was gonna say about this too. Is like I don't know if it's getting boring for me yet, but I feel like it's pretty boring. I don't feel like the water's hard at this point. I'm almost up to a gallon and a half of water every day. Um, I don't have a problem reading the book unless I'm falling asleep, then I just stand up. It's not a time thing for me. I already do things like Duolingo, like learning different languages. Um, I do think that it's hindering spending time with my family on that second workout because I'm like, they're swinging in the backyard. All right, mommy, come over and take over because I'm gonna go for a walk because I still got to do my outside one. And so, to your point of not letting it be replaced with something null and void that I'm not gonna get a return from, I'm gonna go love my family. I'm gonna spend that time on that swing and I'm not gonna feel rushed with them, right? And so I think that that's a great point to take away is don't give the free time an opportunity to fill your heart or soul with something that's not beneficial. And that's kind of hard for me too. Like Evan said, I'm going to be on Reddit scrolling Fed News now or something else. You know what's going on in the media. So, no, great point.
That's what I'm kind of excited about, which obviously could do this anyways. But the phase two of the 75 hard, I'm planning on trying to do it August, September. Basically, do it's a month of the same thing, but you add 3 habits on top of that. And so I've been kind of writing out some possibilities of what those habits might be. You mentioned like Duolingo. So I'm writing out a few different things for that, but uh, I absolutely think I could add, 3 more things of, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, bettering yourself either physically, spiritually, mentally, something like that. Uh,
Now, are you committing to phase two of,
not
or
yet,
actually, I
but
think it's
I've
called
already been thinking of
phase
it.
one.
We're already committed.
Uh,
All three of us have already committed, just by
I have
nature
Yeah,
of
not,
I was
things.
because
planning on all three
Hey,
of us doing it together. I
yeah,
figured
no,
we
y'all
hold
could
on,
pick a month.
because that next
yeah.
phase of 75 hard doesn't just include the three power. What does he call them? Power somethings. Where
Our
you have
task.
to power task, I guess. There's another thing in there that's kind of important.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
I'm
five
excited
minute
about that one.
cold. Is it the 5 minute cold? Is it five?
5 minute
5 minute,
cold
right?
shower.
5 minute cold shower. And
Yep.
then
Oh,
this
that's
is Evan's
easy.
favorite. No, 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 no. It's not a cool shower. It's cold water only shower. No hot
Yeah.
water. Not cool, but cold.
There's a lot of
And that is
benefits
not
to that.
easy. I didn't say there's not, but they suck. I don't like cold water.
No,
And
I don't
then
either.
the other thing is Evan's favorite thing: 10 minutes of visualization.
Yeah, that one I'm not.
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
we'll have like basically thinking about where you're wanting to get to, thinking about your goals, and like visualizing your path forward. That's the one that I'm
So
not
you just turn
really.
this into
Yeah.
y'all give me a hard time about being a vegetarian. Y'all just turn it into full hippies over here.
Uh,
I don't know the benefit of that one, but I guess we can.
No, hold on. So, and I know we digress a little bit, but I think here's the benefit. So the visualization, his example he gave was that he visualized owning an airplane, and he visualized the car he would own at the same time. So he could tell you what the car looked like, and he drove the car up in his head. He drove the car up to the airplane where he got out and got on his private jet, and he could visualize that, and he could tell you the interior, whether it was what leather or not, what color it was, and who was sitting with him. And I do think that I think it's hippie kind of stuff as well, but I do think there's a benefit to people having that goal and thinking about that goal as a motivation to doing what you're supposed to do. So often we say, let's start a business so we can make more money, and we don't really have any specific goals, and we keep going, we'll start it next week. But if you've got a goal, it changes how you're doing things. If your goal is just to make more money, that there's nothing set, and that's sometimes easy just to kind of put off. But if you have a goal of I want to find a way to earn an extra 2 grand between now and December 31st, it's something to go for. We can convert this to the running thing. If I said, "Hey, your goal was just to run a little further," so what are you going to do? You just going to go run a little further 1 day, 2 days? You just might run some. But if I said your goal was to complete a 50 miler by December, you probably sit down and write down this is what I need to do each week from now until December to be able to hit that. That specific goal makes it easier to accomplish, and the visualization is something that helps motivate because you can see it versus just talking about it, and it's not real until it happens.
Now, so you're bringing up a point. So a great education there for me, but you're kind of toning it into an area where I want to do some research. And I'm reading currently right now Celebration of Discipline, if I didn't mention that. And in that book, the author talks about psycho-cybernetics. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or if y'all have ever heard of that. But it's basically the intent to like you want to solely focus on that one thing, right? And so I would see the benefit, kind of what you're talking about, in focusing, like diving into that one thing and giving it that dedicated time so that you can do the due diligence you need for it. Not so much visualizing something arbitrary. So I could see doing that. Hey, if I'm passionate about running, or if I want to start a business, I'm going to focus on that, and I want to know those details of everything that's got to go um, on in that area. Um, sorry, just basically the intent to focus in on something without any other distractions, which is kind of hard for me. But I know we're at about time right now, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. Um, any closing any closing statements from either one of y'all? You feeling ready for next week? You got 10 days
Yeah,
left.
it's getting easier. I will say that it's getting easier on the water, the workouts. They are becoming habits, and it's just something I do. Um, More and more people that I deal with are learning that I'm on a diet, and they're all like trying to adjust a little bit. Um, so I think it's getting easier in one regard of that. I will say, I think one of y'all mentioned boredom. It is becoming monotonous, but we're 50 some days in, and this is a little bit of monotony to it. But we're getting close to the end, which is going to be helpful. Um, but the other thing I want to mention, and as a kind of a closing, my thoughts, this is not a weight loss challenge. This is not an exercise challenge. This is a lifestyle
That's fair. That's
challenge.
fair.
And as we go, well, this doesn't help with the exercise, or this doesn't help with weight loss, but there's, things that this is a challenge that's lifestyle. The selfie, everybody seems to think the selfie is dumb. It's easy to do, but you have to remember to do it, and it is a challenge. And think of how many things you have in life that are easy to do, but you don't do them, and it hurts your progression in life.
Yep.
The selfie is kind of is analogous to that.
I mean, you brought up some other good points too, and not to belabor this at all, but I mean, just the Coke addiction, right? Your Coke
Not sure that I would word it
alcoholic
that way,
anonymous,
Pat.
huh?
It's the Coke addiction. I'm not
It's
sure that that's exactly. I did
Yeah.
not say, for the record, anything about a Coke addiction. I said a
Random drug test
soda
Monday.
addiction.
Yeah, I'm
That's
definitely
what I'm.
telling
That's what I know.
definitely telling your boss. No,
Dear employer, I did not have a Coke addiction.
I'll send them a video to this where you said that. That's 100% the point. I think that mental, like, how do I, for a lot of people who don't have self-control, like, I can't just have one drink. I can't just have one cookie. That's an addiction. I can't just have one
Yep.
Coke, right? I'm gonna go drink all of them, and I think you're 100% right. And maybe that's what I do this week to try and reorient myself. Um, Instead of it being a fitness diet challenge, it's a mental thing. Like, I know it's a mental challenge. Um, Trying to start finding the good in the little things that I'm doing anyway. So yeah, no, great
Yeah,
point.
to that point, it's one of those things where I feel like at this point, I've found it's easy to tell people no, and that includes myself. Now if somebody's like offers me birthday cake, it's not even like I no, don't feel bad at all. I don't care if it's their birthday and they hand me the piece of cake. It's like, nope, not gonna eat that. No, not gonna drink that. No, not, you know, I'm not doing these things. And so the ones that I realize are bad for me, why not just keep doing that and pushing forward? It is a mental thing, but at this point, should be pretty on board with it.
Yep. All right. Well,
Appreciate it, guys. It was fun. Keep working hard on the challenge. We can see towards the end of this phase of the challenge. So it's, let's see, about 19 days, give or take, for us doing the modified.
we'll see if I have
So
another reset and if I failed Tuck. One thing I failed to mention was I got a bachelor party trip coming up next week, so maybe the week after that when they sync back up. Let's see how mentally fit I am after the
Are we
bachelor.
going to be down to five players in this game?
I think I'm preparing. I've been preparing for it all week, but it's gonna be casinos, late night fishing, so alcohol and buffets and not a lot of time to work out. So,
Mm.
well,
Man, if it had been
Yep.
1 week later, you'd have been in trouble because the last 12 days is no alcohol.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm still gonna. I have every intention to stick to the proper 75 hard and not fail. So if I fail, it's
All right.
because it's an accident. So
Gotcha.
All right.
well,
Well,
All
good
right,
luck with that.
guys.
been fun.
Yep.
See
Till
y'all.
next time.
Catch up in a couple weeks.